Welcome friends, I'm Anil Kumar Dharam explaining you the defined process in scope management knowledge area in this video. As continuing with the previous video where I have explained you the second process in scope management, that is collecting the requirements. In this video I'm going to explain you about the defined scope process which falls under the planning process group and about its inputs, tools and techniques and outputs. Okay, let's start. Defined process which falls under the planning process group. The key benefit of this process is that it describes the product, service, or result boundaries and acceptance criteria. Let's discuss about the inputs, tools and techniques and outputs. Inputs: the project charter, the project management plan which includes the scope management plan, the project documents which includes the assumption log, requirements documentation and risk register. And we have EEFs and OPS, that is enterprise environmental factors, organizational process assets. Moving to the tools and techniques, we have expert judgment, data analysis, which includes alternative analysis, decision making, that is multi-criteria decision analysis, interpersonal and team skills, that is facilitation, and we have product analysis. Moving to the outputs, we have the project scope statement, the project documents updates, which includes the assumption log, requirements documentation, and we have RTM, requirements traceability matrix, and the stakeholder register. These are the inputs, tools, and techniques and outputs. Let's discuss these inputs, tools, and techniques in more detail. Inputs we have already covered in the last video, which the project charter, the scope management plan, the project documents, and the acceptance criteria. Moving to the tools and techniques, expert judgment we are already discussed, and moving to the product analysis, it's the product analysis purpose is to analyze the objectives and description of the product stated by the customer or sponsor and turn them into the tangible deliverables. Hope you understand about the product analysis. Coming to the, it's a critical tool. I mean, uh, I will give you in more detail about this product analysis. It's a critical tool that allows the project manager to make sure that the project and product scope are understood and accurate. Hope you know clearly understand about the product analysis. Moving to, if we discuss in more detail about this process, if a process uses this information from the project charter, scope management plan or the requirement documentation created in collector requirements process, assumption log and the risk relations to define the product and project scope. So it is clear now. So once the scope is defined, the project manager has to determine the schedule and budget. If this schedule and budget not meets with the sponsor or management expectations, the project manager has to revisit the scope and adjust according to meet the objectives. So this is the main concept of defining the scope process. Moving to the last, the outputs of this process are the project scope statement. We have project documents and RTM in the stakeholder register. We will discuss about the project scope statement first. Is the approved project and product or service scope for this project? Once the once it is approved by all the parties, it will be called as the project scope statement. In the project scope statement, the project manager has to make sure that only the approved scope is defined and remove all the unapproved scope of work. This is the key point for the project manager in this project scope statement. And it also contains the product scope description, deliverables, acceptance criteria, project exclusions, and constraints. Okay, we are already highlighted as this one. The project scope statement, workbench structure, and the workbench dictionary compromises the scope baseline. So, which if we include these three things, project scope statement, WS, and WS dictionary, will call as the scope baseline, which is part of the project management plan. So we have discussed about the key output of this process, and at last we have the project documents, which includes the assumption logs, requirement documentation, requirements traceability matrix, and the stakeholder register, which you are already having idea on this. What is assumption log and RTM and the requirement documentation? So It's complete the inputs, outputs, and the tools and techniques. So we have completed the define scope process in the project scope management. So in the next video, we are going to discuss about the creating the work background structure. So hope you understand. It's a short video for the defining the scope. The key thing is the output, the scope, project scope statement. Thanks for watching this video. Kindly provide your feedback to the given email ID. If you have any questions, send an email or provide your feedback on this video, and please subscribe my channel and encourage. Thank you.